up on probably where it all started with flat tires on that truck there. Okay, here's the famous auction. We almost lost it. It got up to a point that we didn't have money, and Joan Croft threw in the money. They got it at the Chicago Field Museum. And in the basement, there is a McDonald's. 3 stories, basement, middle floor, upper floor. And they do have a pyramid replica from the basement all the way up that you get to walk through. It's kind of neat. There's so much of this museum, you could spend, I don't know how many, well, I'm supposed to be facing this way. Can you all hear me back?
Yes.
Yes. Disney put up a lot of some of the money.
What?
Disney put up some of the money.
That's correct.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, why?
Good.
I think it was Disney and McDonald's.
Disney and McDonald's, correct.
It auctioned off for $8.36 million. And it wasn't until this point that fossils started skyrocketing. They started having a lot of auctions, and to me it kind of screwed it up for us and a lot of people. Okay, here's the Field Museum, some of their banners, advertising. And what made me mad after I went twice, 2 different trips, and I found out that I was a teacher, so I had free admission, and I already paid, so I got a donation. This is probably telling the different things they have in there, American, Native American, I mean, they've got everything. One of the best museums I think I've been in. And this is probably when they first had the show. What's that? Oh, this question. Okay. It was a huge job of prepping this baby. Here's the way it came in, all crated up. Not styrofoam. Huh? You know, like sponge stuff. They used to know the name of polystyrene or something. Here they carved out pockets to put the different plastic jackets in. And you know, it's a big group, I think TV cameras, the whole bit. I mean, this was a huge thing. Here is the skull in the plastic jacket, and we're going to find out it was damaged on one side. Okay, before they did too much, they wanted to send it to the CT scanner at Boeing in Ventura, California. So they, here's the tin foil. They prepped her all up, but they had unpacked. Plaster jacketed her again. Look here, they're spraying plaster on, looks like. And there was some foam. Yeah, I saw some foam back here. Oh man, messed up. Back. Well, anyway, it had foam on the skull there. Here they used allied. Hey, that wasn't cheap. Bring it all the way from Chicago to Ventura, right north of here. And here's Boeing, and they're uncrating her, and I don't know what the equipment is, but I would say this is something like our gal right here, Shark's Tooth Hill, Lisa. They took a bone or a skull and they made a 3D thing and made a model out of it. And this is the way they do it. They put the laser pointer on, they spin it around, and they have programs on computers to record the stuff. So I guess they could see what was in the plaster jackets before we started tearing it apart because it was so valuable and rare and everything. So they wanted to study it. This is their gym, good name, hometown Chicago. He was the head prepper in charge of all this in the lab that I'll show you. And here's their lab, like our lab, it's a glassed-in lab that we have here at the museum. And we'll see different parts of this. They also made a full-size scale over on the floor for the kids. I was going to bring it, but I didn't have time to copy it. I have a dinosaur bone thing. It's like 20, 30 pages. And it's each bone or half a bone, and you cut it apart. And then I had a human skeleton, the same thing, full size. The kids really love doing that. Okay, here's the lower jaw, the upper jaw. And what was happening, I'm just going to give it up now. The other side was caved in, and so they had to repair it. And here's the old dental pick. Slow, meticulous work. Here's the aerabrator. I have one of these. When I learned to use the aerabrator and air scribe, I hardly go back to the dental pick anymore. Here's the air scribes like we all have them. And here, yeah, that's the air scribe. What you do, you say this is the bone here, see this bone here? You take the point of the air scribe and you work up there and you stop right before you hit the bone, and the kinetic energy keeps going and a little chunk of dirt will pop off. You don't want to leave your signature. One guy was teaching me in a way, and then I helped him out too. He was in the LA museum, and he went down the San Diego museum. He finally died of cancer, but he said, you don't want to leave your signature on any fossil. So, here's one tool I've always wanted to use. I used it on my arm in St. Louis, taking a cast off. But I've never been able to get my hands on one. And she's got the plaster jacket off. And I guess it's a vibrating thing with blades on it, so it doesn't damage anything. Here it looks like this is the aerabrator again, getting some teeth out. Oh. A lot of times I use a head loops, but here they got their air vent hooked up, so as they're working, it sucks all this stuff up, because you don't want to get silicosis or cancer for back in this age, the dinosaurs. Dinosaurs do have cancer in their bones, and I was lucky enough to be over in Colville, Utah, when the Carnegie guy was coming after work. I went there to see this particular bone. It was a lapidary journal they had at the center of their museum. I mean, maybe it was 5 buildings for the whole town, but here's this huge museum, very modern. And he was going to meet with him. I said, what can I do? So we sat out on the bench outside the front door, and that's where he met the curator of the museum. And I made a joke, well, you mean, volcanoes, they had cancer back then? He said, yeah, that's why I'm here. He's studying bones of each museum of dinosaurs, putting together the cancer that came in dinosaurs. And it was a beautiful reddish piece. They had it polished up, the local lapidary guy polished it and everything. So it's more fun to get off the back roads of all these states and go down the main highway. I wouldn't know it well. I saw the name and the book that I had, and I went and found it because we were camped on the hill above. I was collecting leaves.
Jen, they don't usually use an aerator without being in a case. That's really dangerous, even with that intake thing. Because you're hating that.
Well,
We don't do that anymore.
well, I have a case, and Jen has a case. You build then they had these overhead vacuums.
We always use, yes, but we use it in a case, yeah, because, some people are getting sick. They're getting the powder in their lungs.
Yeah,
Well, now we do, but when we started, just 5 years ago, we didn't, we just had a mask.
I was gonna say, when we had the tour down there
Yeah.
of the dino room and had that guy, I don't remember you guys had a case, I saw you too.
We did have a case, but the problem was that our filtration system wasn't adequate, and it was sucking all the stuff out of it, and that's why we were breathing it in. And so they put $35,000 into getting a new filtration system so that we wouldn't get sick working there.
Okay, for $800, you can get a dental vac. They make them in Fallbrook, it starts with a B. I've got one, this is my Home Depot vac, which is driving my ears and my neighbor nuts. Got that, and from the same company, I have a portable aerator. It all works off of my compressor, and that thing is so quiet that sometimes I come out the next morning and it's still running. And then I have a little funnel that funnels down and you collect the sand at the bottom and dump it. Can't tell if that's an aerator or maybe just a little dental kit. And here he's got the mask on. And you can see all the airlines coming in with the gauges. And they have, I was gonna buy it, was $75 25 years ago. There's a filter that you use so you don't pack up moisture in your abrasion. And a lot of times they use in my sodium carbonate, what's that, Armor All, white powder.
Like baking soda.
Yeah. And this side was caved in like this, curved in. And here it looks like it's getting a little two-handed, a little forceful with the centerpieces far enough away from the bone. I was looking behind him. There's his handle, he drags it down, and suck the stuff up. It'd be interesting to go back there. Here's this funnel thing and collecting the stuff, so everything's drawn up in here, swirls around, drops the stuff out. And on my little units, smaller than this, and it has filters inside of it. To this point, he replaces filters, and he replaces about 3 times in 10 years. Lots of microscope work. Paintbrush, clean it out in between. Here she's digging away some kind of digger there. Where she's using probably the aerator. And notice how he's protecting the teeth here. We just now saw that after 20-some years or whatever it was. Every time you show a slideshow, you see something new. Okay, here's one side of Sue's skull. This is right outside the skull, telling you about the different things that they give you. Get through cleaning it. Is this the other side? I think the nose was here before. Okay, we found other fossils along with it. Here's the turtle skull, I believe it was. I'm not going to say it's been too long what bone that is, but they use them to study what's happened and what's going on with this bone versus these bones and all kinds of stuff. There's some ferns. Is that gecko? Gecko? I'm not sure what plant that is. That looks like some bone there. Marrow in here. There's a leaf. Evidently it was found. Oh, there's some more. Right behind her outside or skull, I guess. Some more leaves. So they know what kind of vegetation, so that the non-meat eaters, what they were eating at that time around here. Moles, I wanted to say this is what our friend brought us teeth. Is that teeth that you got? Not John.
There's a block here too.
Well, but here's how they made the mold. Vulcanizing rubber. What's it? 3 words, 3 letters.
RTV, room temperature vulcanization.
Yeah, yeah. So here they've either got the original one or a mold made, and I think that's the original one, and they coat it so it won't stick. And mold both sides. You have to use these to line it up, or you get too much fleshing that you have to cut off. You can see a little fleshing here. I think you'll see trimming it. Here was the original casting, and then they'll clean it up. Here they're using a knife to get that fleshing off. That's got to be a claw. Here is the skull, and this is how museums make money. They make plaster resin castings and sell it to the different museums. And they had the wrong head on one of the ceratops. Part of it was the one with the long neck and the little head. It was in the Denver Museum, and as a little kid, that's where I first saw my first dinosaur, was in the Denver Museum. My dad took us through, and so that's where I kind of started out, liking fossils. But they'll sell this. Maybe they're missing this one part, and they want it for their dinosaur, so they'll make a casting for the leg bone, putting the puzzle together. Here they have a drawing laying out all the ribs. And here's your numbering system again. And they just, here, they just sit down. I think this is Jim that we've been seeing all through the slideshow. Here they're working more, just doing their thing, taking their time like they do here. This is probably the main crew that worked on Sue. These metal things here, you'll see this is the way they supported Sue's, with metal cradles they put the bones in, so that they could take it apart anytime they wanted. And this is just, it's like a puppet, just getting the whole thing together. But they made this first with the whole spine. And then went from there. Here you can see how they supported the leg. It's like wire wrapping in lapidary work, colossal size. I don't know if that looks like a grinder or not. Oh, maybe they're cutting off. Okay, yeah, that's a metal grinder. And they're cutting off the, I'm going to call it wire. Here's a good view of getting vertebrae all lined up. And here they had a tube that fit all the rib bones. 30,000 hours to cut this baby. I put in, probably 300 or 400 on a turtle skull for Roberts, for Bakersfield. This is in the museum. This is the damaged side of the skull. They copied the other side and was able to reverse it, so on and so forth. And this is the main floor, the upper floor, and then you got a basement below you. Everything that you can think of. And each section was a different section. Beautiful fossils. I can have a whole other slideshow.
In Chicago, the Art Institute.
No.
No.
Oh, what's the Field Museum?
Field Museum.
The what?
Field
Ah,
Museum.
okay.
Chicago.
That's right, it was colder than heck. The wind blowing up. Okay, she was 41 feet long, 13 feet tall,
Wow.
size of a double-decker bus, and estimated at 14,000 pounds. Now, you know, our great white was the size of a Greyhound bus, 50 feet long. So that meant the great white could eat soup. God, it's all on. Okay, here's that first floor. That this is that lab bit up back there. And there's Sue, all her glory.
Jim,
Oh,
all around the rails now, they have exhibits and talk about certain things that they found on the soup.
cool,
It's pretty,
cool.
What, you mean like arthritis disease?
yes.
Well, this is taken from up above where her head is resting down. So you can see, here's a human being and how, of course, it's probably 3 feet tall there. But I mean, you know, more than, how tall did I say she was? Look at that foot compared to a person. Yeah, that thing scratch your back. Okay, here's Sue in their plexiglass cage, and it was this side, it was smashed in, and you can kind of see it was like concave. Here's the other side, the original bones and everything, smashed, kind of damaged up, kind of different looking than that other side, isn't it? Hope you can tell. This is the neck. Where the neck went in. And this is the front end. Commander. Try to get a close up of teeth, and that lady would be slid easily inside that mouth. I used to do this with kids. I got the saber-tooth calf casting from here by Paleontological. She worked here, learned how to make these rubber castings, and then she opened a huge thing even for Hollywood productions. So she sells the suits and stuff, so she can buy. And I take the saber-tooth calf and bring a kid up and have him put his head inside it. You know, with the big canines sticking down and everything. We had a lot of fun. I had a shark's tooth, tiger shark, about this big around. And I used to make the mom stand perfectly quiet, and I'd take her shoulders to her ankles. Until one time I didn't get it all the way down. Then we put it over to kids. We demonstrate on the mom and then the kids so he wouldn't be scared, because the teeth are there. You gotta freeze babe or you'll rip your arms off. There's before and after. And they have a lot of these posters around. It sounds like they double or triple the posters now. Okay, here was one of the bones they were missing for this whole section here. There must have been something missing in this foot or a whole foot. It's 90% complete. Has anybody heard, have they found one bigger or more complete yet of T-Rex?
No, this is still it.
Still it, great. And Leo and learning from Sue. Okay, they studied the different fractures, and here was another same bone, different animal, studying it. Here's a, is that a femur? money in and take off. I missed the thing and I wanted to give the gal the money. She says, no, just get going, get going. I was in a rental, so I never did get a ticket. Well, I was scared, you know. But see that? Big Mac, McDonald's, over, you pull off for a little rest, go up to McDonald's big in Chicago. Here's probably the 3D scanner that they were. That's probably how they got the other side of their skull made by 3D. I don't know if they call that X-ray. Here they fleshed her out what they feel she might have looked like in what colors. Nobody really knows. The end. I didn't go that far. I didn't go that far. If you want to go ahead and tell them and pass it around.
I happened to be at the museum, and
And that was the mold that made this for them. I'm sort of joking.
I had a question,
Yeah.
Jim. Were most of the teeth found intact in the jaw when they found Sue?
Yeah, you
Yes.
saw them before they were prepping them. They were there like that.
Can you explain this process? I saw the amount it sold for. I'm like, who sold what to who?
Right.
Okay.
Who's
Best
what?
story of this it was, what's the business magazines, is that Time? Comes out weekly. You have all the stock market.
Forbes, the economist. Barron?
Yeah, and Time and US something.
Today.
Well, back in the day, they had a big article on, trying to think of his name there in the Black Hills. Jack Horner, not Jack Horner.
Bob Larson.
Yeah, Bob Larson.
Yeah. He wanted to put this town, and it was the end of our steamer train ride, on the map. And so he paid an Indian $5,000, this could be a little, for permission to go on Indian land and collect, because he knew there were dinosaurs there from studying geological maps and all this, strata. And if I knew what I was teaching my kids, when I was a little kid's age, I'd own the Smithsonian.
Hell Creek.
So I could study stuff, a layer, go over outside of Zion, hop over a fence, within 5 minutes have the layer I wanted for my workshop. I was giving them all the layers from the bottom of the Grand Canyon to the top of Bryce and Bryant Head. They had it all layered. And I'd hop over the fence, go find that because I knew the layers, throw 10 pounds in my backpack, back in my car, back, because I'd bring it home and break it up in little rocks about 8 big square. Okay, where was I going now?
Who funded the expedition and therefore who owned it and then the selling process?
Larson paid $5,000 for it. Well, the government, you know, BLM and all this, they.
The Indian tribes.
Sorry, but if we don't own it, we can't write about it. And I've had friends that take the fossils away from every day back, wouldn't even give the plastic casting they promised here in LA. And I won't say his name, B, but anyway. So it was his fossils, so he jacked it all up, took it back. I'm trying to think of the name of the town.
Black Hills Institute, it was.
Yeah, well, that was his museum, and I was helping meet field
Did
trips.
he pay that group to go in and find those fossils?
Yeah, it was volunteers, I think.
They
Volunteers.
said that the border was very nebulous. They said it was their land. Later, the government
The
said.
government moved the line.
It was in conservatorship of Indian
Exactly.
Yeah,
land.
they moved the line, they resurveyed it. So they stormed in like Raiders of the Ark, took this stuff, threw it up on the trucks, and man, they were all worried about their stuff. They couldn't find any evidence except a couple of maps and cigarette butts there. that it was him. They never did convict him on suit,
That's
but they had to get their money back. So one time he was on a foreign deposit mining trip. He brought $10,000 or $20,000 back without declaring it at customs. I was gonna say border, yeah, but customs. And that's what they nailed him on and got a couple of years out of him in prison.
And the only reason that he was convicted on that is because the government was putting pressure on the jury to convict him on something.
They had to
And they chose the least charge there, and afterwards they said we wish we wouldn't have done that either. But they were being pressured to convict him.
So, at that time, the government owned it. I guess to get their money back, they had put it on auction, and it kept going up to $8 million. Well, I guess the museum
Disney and
didn't have
McDonald's
it,
bought it.
so it was going to go to foreign country. And Croc and he said Disney threw money in, and we
And
got her.
McDonald's.
And that's that.
I saw the McDonald's like sponsoring on some of that stuff, but I don't know how, why Disney would have any part in that. I don't know what they got. Does anybody know what they got out of it? Because even the sign in your slide, it said McDonald's preparation.
Yeah, that's the first I heard of Disney, but.
No, they donated the, let's see, the
They're both related.
buffaloes out the way in this park or something like that. Every now and then I'll be somewhere and be like, Disney donated this, but there's no sign about it.
Yeah, I didn't see
Oh,
it.
right.
But by serendipity, just 1 week ago, I just, on my own, happened to look at Netflix, and they have the whole thing that you're asking about,
They have
the
Dinosaur
prehistory of Sue and all the law.
Okay.
I mean, it's really more about the lawsuits than scientific. But
Famous people with a bunch of money, there are a number of actors who are big into collecting fossils, and it kind of ruins it for the museums, because they can't compete.
So basically McDonald's and Disney made it so that it would not fall into private hands.
Apparently so.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
and we are grateful for that.
Thank
Yeah.
God for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's an amazing thing. So.
Plus, it is part of our national heritage,
Yeah.
you know. And even though I'm so upset with BLM, and particularly the Forest Service right now, I've always said I've always enjoyed national parks. There's a spatial power there. I felt it in 3 of them. And we need places for our future generations to see, like petrified forest. I took in, you can take in wood that you've collected, or rocks, or jasper, or agates, but you declare it at the gate. They have a crayon. They mark each log and aha bug. Went in one gate, went out the other. But then they have a case at each visitor center. Everybody that got divorced or got hurt, or kids said, I'm sorry I stole these pieces of wood from you. And it's kind of cute, kind of nice. A lot of people got divorces after they stole the stuff.
Wow,
So, we need places like that. We need places for us to go and take our kids and teach them a few
It
things.
encourages them to protect our environment and our natural resources, all of it.
Right, right.
John,
Okay,
can you talk a little
thanks.
bit about your class there too?
Thought you'd never get.
Yes.
Well, there's no time left for you. Sorry about that.
What was the question? Anyway, I happened to be in Chicago, walked into the Field Museum. I didn't know Sue was there. Of course, Sue was there. And then I found out that Bone Clones in Canoga Park makes replicas with resin of a lot of the fossils. Not only fossils, but early man also. But what's interesting about it is you can only buy these at the museum. You can't buy them online. And even if you go to their website, you can't buy them online, and you can't even buy these at the store, because I went to the store. Thank you. Because of the catalog. So anyway, just to give you an idea, you know, you can hear it's 14 feet long, it weighs this and that. To actually see a replica, this is of the claw of Sue. This is an exact replica. And I'll pass this around, you can see this.
So made by mold, yes?
Yes.
That's right.
And this is a replica of a tooth. There was 58 teeth. And this is just one of the teeth for Sue. But if you ever get a chance to go there, what I'm trying to explain to Jim,
It's a
we
tooth
saw
with a
that
root.
fence around Sue. Now they have all kinds of really, really neat exhibits that are in glass that talk about, say for example, there were some holes in her skull that they couldn't figure out what those were from, but they still can't. They were able to figure out an estimation of her approximate age in which she died. That's down there. And also the fact that she had a broken, I don't know whether it was a femur or not, but they were able to explore the fact that there was some kind of a growth on one of the bones. So they figured that it might have happened, she might have gotten in a fight, or she might have just broken it or whatever, but it's really interesting. And so you can pass those around and kind of get an idea of just the size. And the claws were not, supposedly not used for
That was a claw.
killing, but for protection. So,
And I sure appreciate the donation for the audience.
Nice. Yes, you know more about this, because you worked about China Hall, but they don't mount the real heads, right?
It depends on the condition. At the Natural History Museum, when you see the two dueling dinosaurs out in the front, in the front foyer, that's a fake head, it's a copy, and it's from Mike Hills. And it's because the original is so very fragile, it was in a lot of pieces. It's now in a glass case along with a Landeosaurus in the first part of the Dino Hall. Now, of
This
the T-Rexes that are in the
is the
second
tooth.
big room, their skulls are also under glass. And you can see them, they're right next to the big platform with the three T-Rexes. And you'll see that with the 3-year-old and the 14-year-old, only fragments were found. And then they have them kind of like on a wire frame, so you can see sort of how where they pieces fit. But
I
yeah,
don't see-
all of the skulls.
It's only part of the root, but I don't see any serrations.
Showed Sue in a glass case. So I wonder if
Usually
it's
there's
just a little bit
serrations,
because of the weight or the-
unless the tooth has
Well,
been
it's
used on bones,
Heavy and fragile.
which wear them away.
it's on the second one.
The real
Yeah, the
skull
real
is?
one, yeah.
Okay, so when they say 90%, they have 90%, but not that whole 90% is on the out. Anyway, yeah, so go home and if you have Netflix, look up Dinosaur 13 because it is totally worth seeing. It's coming. Yes.
This is what it comes
Come
to.
on in.
This is what it comes to.
Anyway, thank you very much, Jim, for bringing those.
Well,
And
thank you. I'm glad I finally made it. I'm sorry for being late.
no, that was okay.
Don't let it happen.
You talked to LA traffic.
We have, before we go, we stop for a break. There are a number of things to see in the back. David, do you want to say what you have brought back there?
I brought some of the stuff, material I collected yesterday at Churchill Hill, and the other stuff is from the Gem Fair show up in Santa Barbara, and then the Ventura show was last month that I picked up a number of interesting goodies.
Okay. And
It's feldspar, and the volcano that actually caused this is now called Thumb Mountain in the Mule Mountains. And now I'm trying to get it dated to find out how old this handprint is.
wow, very cool.
I've got some microscopic pictures that I've taken of it, and it explains why the person clawed at it. there's gold in here. There are little flakes of gold you can see in it. So
Where did you find this?
this is near the Colorado River. It's called Wiley's Well. There's a campground there. It's near Quartzsite. Yeah, it's in that area. And so under the microscope, you can see a lot of flakes of gold, and it's been tested.
Do you have this presentation online by any chance?
No.
Okay, okay.
I had this, I discovered this, I found it with just that sticking out of the ground, and I says, oh, snail fossils. Oh, but I picked it up and it was so heavy, I said, oh, do I want to lug this back to my car? Yeah, the snail fossils got me. I brought it home, put it in my rockery. 15 years later, I had to move it to paint the outside, and I lifted it up, the sunlight hit it, and I says, oh my God, that's a human handprint.
That's incredible.
So since then, I've been doing research on it, and this is, I thought I'd bring it here today and share it with all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What's your name?
Gary
Gary.
Pasiak, P-A-S-C-I-A.
All right, so make sure that you have some snacks, look at the things